afternoon. Welcome to Lunchtime Confessions. So today I want to apologize to parents at the beginning because I don't really know who I'm about to offend, and I'm really not trying to, but here we go. So as many of you saw on my Instagram and Facebook, my daughter has had a very active weekend. Movies, birthday party, sleepovers, all of that good stuff. You know, mom shit on Saturday, right? Now, Perry has been going to her school for about 2 years now. And so, of course, I have built these relationships with parents because my kids are very social. And, of course, you know, that comes with having to be social and friendly with these people, parents. Okay, cool. I'm social. So I see a familiar face at the birthday party. We've been working hard since kindergarten or our kids' kindergarten years, let me be clear. And I'm like, oh, hey, friend. So, of course, we get to chatting and, you know, laughing and giggling and shit. So, she's asking me about work and my dating life. Everybody at the school is trying to play matchmaker and hook me up. I don't know why, but that is everybody's role at the girls' school right now. At any rate, so we get to talking about, the kids. She has a 5-year-old. I have a 5-year-old. She has a 7-year-old. I have a 7-year-old. So we have lots to talk about, if you will. And so we're talking about the kids, and, her 5-year-old is a lot like my 5-year-old. Really reserved when they first meet you. So little daddy has always been reserved, which is why he and Blake clicked so well when they met last year. And so I'm like, well, he looks like he's coming out of his shell. I'm watching him running around, skies on and shit. So I'm like, yeah, he looked like he coming out of his shell to me, sis. He running around, playing, talking to other people's kids that ain't even in the party. He looked, like he's becoming well-adjusted, in my opinion. So she's like, well, it still takes him a little minute. And, she's talking, and then she slides this shit in. And I've been reading up on books about him being gay. Gay? How you know he gay? He not, what? Talk to me, sis. So I legit stopped her mid-sentence so I could make sure that sis said what she said. And I'm like, well, what you mean? How do you, what has led you to read these books to make you think that your 5-year-old son is gay? And she said, I just know, how as a mom, you just know. She said, I just know. And some of his mannerisms, not to mention his favorite color is pink. And then the other day, he asked us if he could paint his nails. Us meaning mom and dad. Let me clear something up. He does have a mother and a father, so he has both parents at home. For all of you motherfuckers who think that y'all done diagnosed homosexuality and shit. So I'm like, what did you say? And she was like, I let him paint his nails. I didn't want to tell him no, painting nails is for girls. Parents nowadays try really hard not to put a gender on things. And to an extent, I totally get it. I get it because for a long time, my daughter, my 5-year-old, would only play with little boys. And she likes action figures and cars and trucks and monster trucks. Like, that's shawty thing. So I get it to an extent. So to make him feel accepted and to make him feel better, mom turns to older brother and she's like, hey, you want to paint your nails too? And older brother's like, no, that's for girls. And then mom was like, bruh, you know what we working with. Like, don't say that. So mom is like, no, don't say that's for girls. And she's like, well, what happens when he gets to school next year and somebody says that's for girls? And the older brother was like, I'm gonna kick their ass because I can say that. I'm his brother. Can't nobody else say that shit. I'm like, all right, cool. Big brother on deck. He with little brother, cool. What's your husband saying? So she was like, well, he's been accepting and, reading the same books that I've been reading. Oh, okay. So a couple of years back, a friend of mine reaches out to me and says the same thing about her 4 to 5-year-old son. I didn't believe her. I was like, bitch, hey, 4, how the fuck what you talking about, huh? I'm like, how you know what you talking about? And all them brothers he got at the house with, he can't, what are you talking about? Kids have no, idea what that is. And she brings little daddy over to my house to play with my daughters and with the rest of his siblings. And then I saw what she was talking about. I saw his mannerisms. I saw the way that he chose to play. I saw the things that he chose to play with. And so then I could, recognize and feel where she was coming from when she was like, I think he's gay. 4. I haven't educated myself much on this situation or this process, if you will. There is a little boy at my daughter's school, and he has clung to my 5-year-old. They are BFFs. But he, too, comes to school with headbands, fingernails painted. All of these little boys that I'm speaking on have fathers that live in their home. They have brothers who live in their home who are all boy, straight boy, like want to jump off of brick walls and jump into parking decks and shit. All the mothers who I have spoken with, all the fathers who I have spoken with on this particular situation, they're loving these babies through it. Okay, cool. How are we feeling about 4 and 5-year-olds already knowing about their sexuality and what it is that they like? And let me watch my mouth, because it's really not about sexuality when they're so young. I think it's more about what they identify as. I think that is the PC term, how they're identifying. How do they know how to identify so early? Do we encourage their behavior? Do we ignore it? Do we, fuck up their psyche and tell them it's wrong? No. Do we beat the shit out of them? Do we electrotherapy their ass? Like, help me. In so many ways on Saturday, my heart was breaking for this woman, because you could see it on her face that she wanted to, break down and cry. And she's like, I'm supporting him through whatever. The only thing I can't deal with is, transgender. I get it. I get her heart being broken, and I get, her having so many questions and probably questioning herself, because the more you educate yourself, the more you have questions about the situation, of course. And so I get it. What I'm having trouble with, just me personally, is, are we condoning such different behavior? Not wrong, not bizarre, not nasty, just different behavior in that particular child. Are we condoning it? Because you want your child to be comfortable, you want your child to be themselves, you want your child to be happy and feel loved in their own skin. But at such an early age, are we supporting and condoning their different behavior? Now, it's easy for me to speak on because I'm not dealing with it, you know what I mean? But I like to think that if it were me, I would try to redirect. Again, I'm not dealing with it, so I don't know. And I'd like to think that would be how I handled it. Here's the age-old question. Are you born gay? These are babies, you know what I mean? Are you born like that?